play is a powerhouse of manifestation. When it comes to creativity and imagination, there must be play. We've forgotten how to have fun. Get yourself in the confluence and in the conflagration, the fire point. No creativity has ever come about in a place of fear. The manifestation depends on energy, and where we are moving is dependent on where we want to play. Hi everyone, I'm Michael Sandler, your host on Inspire Nation. The question today isn't why did the chicken cross the road, but why am I holding a rooster to start this talk? It's because today's theme is play and grow rich. Now, I know that doesn't sound very mature, but that's actually the point. If we want to dive into creativity, if we want to dive into manifestation, then we get to dive into play. It's play and grow rich. So each day I go into automatic writing, a process. I have a book, The Automatic Writing Experience, #1 Spirit Guide and Angels book on Amazon. Beside the point, I go into my automatic writing each morning and I say, Angels, Spirits, Universe, what do I get to talk about today? Or what am I talking about on today's show? Rue, you've got your legs positioned. That's more relaxing. All right, now you're holding me by your foot. I like it. I love you, Rue. What I got today was from my dear pet Mole, who passed away a couple years ago. And he came to me through awe this morning, and he said, you get to talk about play, about having fun. In fact, we get to have a serious topic today about play. You see, play is a powerhouse of manifestation. Why? Well, I've been doing a lot of teaching and studying lately about Napoleon Hill, about Neville Goddard, about the God within. The God within is your imagination. You see, imagination coupled with emotion, coupled with belief, that's where your manifestation comes with. In essence, you need energy in motion, emotion, in order to create your dreams. And so play comes into the picture. Fun comes into the picture as well. Here's the greatest challenge. We've forgotten how to have fun, except for Rue here. He's a rock star. But we've forgotten, good boy, Rue, we've forgotten how to have fun. So when I go hiking on the trails, I always have Ruru with me. In fact, last weekend, Jessica and I, we were down by Palm Springs. We were hiking up Mount Jacinto. I believe it's Jacinto. We're hiking up the steepest hike I think we have ever done. And I have Ruru in my arms because he would not want to stay at home. And he certainly wouldn't want to stay in the car. And everybody we passed broke into the greatest grin and smile ear to ear that they could possibly have. Why? Because carrying a rooster is funny. And when we are in a funny, childlike place, not childish place, ideas come to us. We get into this flow state. The creativity inside of us goes through the roof. And we're able to draw upon energy, experiences, and ideas that we never even thought possible. So here's the challenges. Can I actually scroll through my notes while doing this? Because as soon as Rue decides it's time to go nap time, we will continue this. However, all right, let's talk about this. When play is taken out of the child, their dreams die a little bit. And we die a little bit. The trick is we have gone so far past play, taking life seriously, that we've forgotten how to crank this energy back up. But when it comes to creativity and imagination, there must be play. It works like this. Play is the key to creativity. Creativity is the key to imagination. And belief is the key to making it come true. Let me say that again more slowly. Play is the key to creativity. Creativity is the key to the imagination. Creativity is the key to the imagination. And belief is the key to making it come true. So without play, there's not creativity. Without creativity, there's not pure imagination. Without imagination, we can't manifest. Why? Because manifestation depends on energy. And energy comes from play. So the big question as we start this talk today is, what are you doing for play? Are you taking time out in nature? Are you bringing your rooster with you? We recently got a backpack for Sir Meowsers the kitty and started taking him with us on walks as well. Didn't work so well. He was kind of bouncing up and down in this backpack. We're going to look for some other means to carry him. But whether it's nature, whether it's hiking, walking, biking, cooking, sewing, trying on clothes, that's really fun to me. It came out of the fashion industry. How does it get any better than that? Trying on clothes. Whatever it is that brings you great joy will raise your vibration up and get you in the state to attract things into your life. Keep peace. Ever noticed how similar the words play and pray are? They're just one letter apart. In fact, it's an L to an R, play to a pray. The L stands for love. The R stands for reverence. When we stand in love and reverence for ourselves, that's when we fully manifest. Because as Neville Goddard put it, it is the God within. He actually talks about man as God. All of the greats in manifestation talk about man as God and God mind, your mind as creator. So when you dive inside of yourself and dive into your manifestation, you are creating. And that creativeness comes from happiness. It is incredibly hard to create when you are miserable. Think about it. Tell me what single one greatest idea, what eureka moment came out of you being miserable. Instead, it's just the reverse. It came when you stepped back from your work. It came when you went hiking. It came when you went playing. It came when you were making love. But the idea didn't come to you when you were in that negative state, that serious state of emotion. Manifestation is far too serious to take seriously, as is life. Finding one's path and direction is all about finding the nexus. What's the nexus? It's the conflagration. I wanted to call it the confluence, but it's the conflagration, the fire starting point of three things: your curiosity, your likes, and what you're good at. If you look at your life and say, what am I curious about? Curiosity is play. What do I like to do? Play. And what am I good at? Which comes from those two things. What you find is where those three things come together, that's your sweet spot. We can call that your zenith of play. And your zenith of play, that's where the light goes on. Light bulb. That's where you get your greatest ideas. And that's where you can manifest anything. In the nexus, you can manifest whatever you desire. Why? Because that's your point of maximum energy. If you take away two things from today, first, you gotta play. And play hard and play like you mean it and play like your life depends on it. And secondly, get yourself to the nexus. Get yourself in the confluence and in the conflagration, the fire point of curiosity, of like, and of good at. Where you find that, that is your sweet spot in life. Literally, if I was coaching you, I would say, give me a list of each morning, top 5 things that you're curious about. Then give me a list each morning, 5 things you like to do. Then give me a list each morning of 5 things that you are good at. You write that out for a month. It's a lot of stuff. And you take a look at it. And you say, what can I put together that combines my like, my curiosity, my goodness, and my God? Do you have your sweet spot? So here's the thing. We have forgotten. First off, as kids, we were told it's time to get serious. It's time to stop playing. As I mentioned at the beginning, that's when we die a little bit. So that's why we have pets in our lives. That's why we have kids in our lives. An excuse to start playing again. You don't seem quite as childlike if you have a child so that you actually play. You're just being a mommy. You're just being a daddy. The same maybe can be said if you've got a rooster or maybe a kitty cat. But the more that you can allow yourself to get back into that state of play, the better. So, for ourselves, we're here at a retreat center just by Joshua Tree for the winter. It's really cool. It's getting cooler by the day. But what's really going on is we're finding ways to play here. We're finding ways to explore. And we know that we're moving this spring. And where we are moving is dependent on where we want to play. What does that mean? Well, if we look at Montana, we're talking about playing with our skis. If we look at Colorado, maybe it's more hiking. If we look at Florida, maybe it is more canoeing, kayaking, rowing, sailing. In other words, we certainly are our land. Something to remember, we are our land. But our land represents how we are going to play. And so when we look for where we are going to move next, we're asking, how do we want to play? And we're working to build a life centered around play. Now, I almost feel like because of culture, apologizing, saying, oh, don't worry, I still work hard. But the fact is, if we center our lives around play rather than around work, or even better, if we can make work our play, we can attract in whatever goodness we desire. Whatever goodness. But we have forgotten our true nature. We've forgotten that our true nature is play. Every single animal out there knows how to play. We're just told not to do it anymore. We're told to get serious. And then we lose our manifestation skills, which every child has. Why? Because they were using their imagination. They were playing their way into attracting what they desired in life until they had to get rigid and their play had to conform by a set of rules, by a set of goals. Isn't that interesting? Goals. And as soon as we have rules and goals, a certain amount of boundaries can actually be good for us. But if the game goes from being a game to something we have to win, we have to do, we have to be good at, we lose the creativity behind us. And the creativity is everything. Whatever you do for play must have by design a creative element to it. So every day around 1:30 or so, I kick myself out of the studio and I have to go play. Oftentimes it's with my mountain bike, exploring a new terrain, seeing how far and how fast I can get on a new trail or as close from here, Joshua Tree, to Big Bear as I possibly can. And I'm constantly tinkering and seeing what I can do. I'm in the creative, explorative process. What does that do? It lights up my mind for everything. You're going, Michael, why do I have to be in the creative process in order to manifest? Remember, what drives the emotion. And it's the emotional state from which you attract everything. And you get in that state by being in the creative process. So you want to get out and explore. You want to be in nature. You want to try things differently. You want to try things, I can't believe I'm going to say this, badly. Do something you've never done before and see what you can do by playing with it. Play is getting a sense of reverence and joy for the world. It's not about doing things perfectly. It's about doing things that make you happy, things that are fun. What happened when I looked up the word play? Well, according to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, it did not have fun in it. There was no fun, nothing about enjoyment. The closest you can come up with was recreation for kids. There was no mention of having fun in the word play in the dictionary. Why? Because he or she who wrote the dictionary wasn't having fun. But that fun is essential when it comes to play. To fully create, you need to be in a childlike state. Thomas Edison had a team of creators at night working on things with him. He called them the zombie squad. Why? Well, it wasn't because they're going, ah. It's because they were having fun through the night. That's the missing element to this law of attraction stuff. You go and watch The Secret and you see the guy holding the steering wheel in his car. It's the fun element that attracts it in. Not just the feeling of the steering wheel, but it's the emotional state that, woohoo, that's why I do that. It's the woohoo, that pure joy that draws in what you desire. Everything has a singular focus, but the singular focus is joy. If you can find the joy in the new job before you have the new job, you get the new job. If you can find the joy in the new relationship before you have the new relationship, you get that relationship. I just signed a contract half an hour ago. Yeah, half an hour ago. To produce a TV series. Or at least with 3 producers, we're going to make 6 episodes and we're going to see how it goes. How does it get any better than this? That's the pure joy, the singular point, the nexus of the curiosity, the like, the good at coming together, all being stirred around in this cauldron. The singular point is joy. With, how do they say it? From God, all things is possible. From joy, from the imagination within, all things are possible. So let's get serious here. When someone says, get serious, what they're really saying is get scared. No creativity has ever come about in a place of fear. I know they say necessity is the father of invention or the mother of invention at this point. This is true. But when the brain's locked down, you can't think. You have to be able to breathe, pause, step back, and even better, dance. Even better, sing. It's why I've had a show on Sing and Grow Rich. It's why dancing is one of the most important things that you can do, even if you do it really badly, even if you do it even in a wheelchair, even if you do it in bed. And I have spent many months at a time before in bed or in a wheelchair, and I know the importance of still getting the dance going, getting in that state. Dance, play, sing, have fun. It's the fear, the locking down that shuts off the pipeline to the universe, that severs the connection with one's soul. So the question you get to ask is not how do I manifest, how do I attract? We've got to go many steps before that. How do I play? How do I find joy? How do I get to this childlike state? The key to the kingdom of heaven and the key to the riches of heaven come from a state of play. So challenge yourself. Once you finish this video, don't go to the next video and the next video and the next video. And don't crank out a chessboard unless that's your greatest thing in the world. And then go for it with everything you got. But maybe it's sing. Maybe it's dance. Maybe it's grabbing. Oh, I can't believe I'm bringing him on air here. Well, Isaiah, I like to be on air. This is Southern. I can speak for myself. I'm Southern Comfort. And when he brings me online, it's all about the play. Isn't that right? Yeah, it is. That's right. Because you see, between you and me, I'm nuts. So, yeah, you get it. Woo-hoo. So I'm nuts here, and I can't believe that he's letting me on the air on a YouTube event like this. But, and thank you so much. It's important. You see, the more childlike you are, the more you get in that creative state. The more you're in that creative state, the more you feel, the more you flow, the more you attract. So the key to the law of attraction is to be a little bit nuts. That's what I'm saying. And now I'll give it back. Is that all right? Yeah, that was good. I'll give it back to Michael here. So, the key to the riches of heaven, thank you, Southern Comfort, come from a state of play. So if you really want to attract, sing and grow rich at the end of each day. Sing, play, dance. Allow yourself to plug into the joy. Now, the key to manifestation we're talking about is joy, is creativity, is belief. Belief comes from a knowing that there is something great, a knowing that there is something possible. How do we get to that knowing state? Play your way there. So I'm looking at all these amazing places that we can move to. And what do? Of course, I look at the dollars and figures behind it. But before I even pay any attention to that, I put myself in my mind's eye in that new place. Can I see myself launching a kayak or a rowboat or an outrigger? Can I see myself swimming? Can I see myself driving to the trails? Can I see myself going to the main strip holding Ruru and walking down it and saying hi to people? Can I see myself in a state of play? Wow. You ever been to a play? Have you gone to a play recently? I bring that up for a reason. It's funny that the word play is used. Because when we go to watch a play, what we are doing is watching people in make-believe, and we are suspending disbelief. And that world, for an hour or two, that imaginary world becomes completely real. If you can be in your own play, that's being on the other side of the veil, other side of any blocks, other side of what you desire, where you're already living it, experiencing it, being it, embodying it, playing in it. If you can bring theatrics to your manifestation, you become completely unstoppable. So the theatrics can be, what does it feel like to be at the beach? The theatrics can be, what does it feel like to be going to the movie with my new partner? The theatrics can be, how great does it feel to have the new job, to have the check, to have financial well-being or well-offedness, whatever we want to call it? How does that feel? Can you play in that zone? Can you live in that zone? Can you do make-believe? Can you even put on a costume? Play as if it were real. Ecstasy is one of the most powerful emotions in the world. It's something Napoleon Hill talks a lot about. He actually talks about sexual transmutation. We're not going to be going there today. But ecstasy is play in motion. Play in motion. What does that mean? It means ecstatic dance, flailing, creativity, being up on a mountain dancing. They do ecstatic dance on Cathedral Rock, up high on this Red Rock Hill in Sedona every Saturday, and which people get in this amazing state of flow and this state of creation, from which if they set intention, anything is possible. Ecstatic movement. What does that mean? When you're in a state of ecstatic movement, when you're in a state of pure joy and movement, it can be from your runner's high. Heck, somebody could get that as odd as it seems. Boxing, it can be doing just about anything. It can certainly be painting, ecstatic movement. When you get in this state, you are in a flow state. What's a flow state? A flow state is where time completely disappears. It's not real anymore. This is Einstein's relativity at its finest. Time is not real because in a flow state, time appears to stop. You lose track of time. You seem to have infinite time. You have no concept of time. Why? Because you're completely plugged into the universe. You're plugged into the creative pipeline of God. What does that mean? In that flow state, you can create anything at all. It's why in my book, Awe, the Automatic Writing Experience, there's a whole section on this technique called the Woohoo 8. Woohoo! Of getting into this high vibration, fun state from which you can create a flow state. You lose track of time and you get into the imaginal realm. You get into this special sacred place from which anything can be created. The more that you spend time in the flow state, the more you are able to attract whatever you desire. So let's take, this dates me, Michael Jordan going for the jumper in the flow state goes to take the shot. And I've actually had his mindfulness coach on the show, George Mumford, years ago, to confirm this. Goes to take his shot, and the entire world stops. And he has all the time in the world to take the jumper right before the clock stops. Isn't that interesting? Time stops, clock stops, and for it to go in just at the buzzer, and for them to win not just the game, but the championship. That was manifestation. He did this time after time. Manifestation in action by practicing getting in the flow state, getting in the zone, getting in a place of play and joy where all sense of time is gone. The more you can spend in the flow state, the more you will attract whatever you desire in your life. Here's where it gets really, really cool. So I've had on the show, and actually I've did a whole bunch of research studying Dr. Andrew Newberg's work on enlightenment in the brain. He's in the book, Awe, the Automatic Writing Experience. And he talks about what happens to the brain in a flow state, what happens to an enlightened brain. And I'm convinced, and I want to see more study on this, the same thing that happened to an enlightened mind, somebody going through an awakening experience, somebody going into an extremely deep meditation, somebody going into automatic writing, which is shown to have the same signature as an enlightened state, because Dr. Andrew Newberg, with a SPECT scan on the brain, has actually studied where blood flow goes and found it very similar to an awakened mind, an enlightenment experience. I would say that if we studied people in a state of play, in a state of pure joy, in that state of ecstasy, we would find exactly the same brain wave state. Frontal lobe powers down. That's the thinking part of the brain. That's the part of the brain that's very linear, that says, I need to know this, then I need to know that, I need to know the other thing. Squashes creativity dead. And it powers down the parietal lobe, the part of the brain responsible for I, me, my. When the parietal lobe goes down, ooh, goody, things get interesting. Why? Because we go into a state of we-edness, of one-edness. And it is in that state of one-edness, coupled with letting go of the thinking mind, which says, I will believe it when I see it, that instead puts us in the Neville Goddard state of mind of, I will believe it, and then I see it, because I can plug it into my imaginary mind, he calls it the subconscious, without limitation. And the subconscious, which works at the level of emotion and energy, or can be supercharged with joy, will bring it about. Put more simply, when those parts of the brain, the frontal lobe and the parietal lobe, power down, you get into more of a theta brainwave state, a creative space, and you don't recognize limitations anymore. And limitations are only made by the thinking mind. When the limitation goes away, the subconscious can create. It goes from mind to subconscious to God. Mind to subconscious to God. The mind says, I don't know if it's possible. We have to be able to let go of that to work in the level of the subconscious. The subconscious goes, all things are possible to those who believe. All things are possible to those who believe. So the subconscious mind believes something's possible. It will then create it. Kingdom of heaven is on the other side of the subconscious. It will then create it out of your emotional state. So when we get to joy, when we get to ecstasy, when we get to these higher vibrational states, Paul Selig's guides, and I love his work, call it the upper room. When we get to the upper room, all things are possible. Bringing it home here back to sports. And then I've got just one more point for you, and then we're going to dive into a meditation. Bringing it back to sports. If you want to win, don't try to win. This may sound familiar. If you want to meet your life partner, don't try to meet your life partner. If you want $1 million, don't focus just on winning the $1 million. Focused instead on that state of pure joy. Woohoo! The partner will appear. The money will appear. The job will appear. The win, the giant W will appear. If a team is forced to focus on, you've got to win at all cost, creativity goes away. Flow state goes away. They go into a state of fear. They cannot create or manifest almost anything. And the ball starts falling out of their hands. If instead the coach says to her girls or says to the guys, I want you to go out and have as much fun as you can. You know this game. You practice, you played, you practice, you've won. Whatever it is, you've got this dialed. Today, I don't want you to think about the rules. Today, I don't want you to think about winning. Today, I want you to go and play. Play your hearts out and have fun. This game is a celebration. And we're going to double back around to that point in a minute. This game is a celebration of all your hard work. Guess what's going to happen? Either they are going to win in the most triumphant victory ever, or both teams are playing at this high level state, and it is going to be the most thrilling, fun, flow state game imaginable. That is why it is play and grow rich, which means to be able to play allows you to manifest. So as a kind of, I can't believe I'm going to share this real briefly. High school, long time ago. I'm racing my bicycle, dreaming of going to the Tour de France, winning some races here, or win a race here, win a race there. Loved chocolate ice cream. I then did the worst thing in the world. What is that? Eating a tub of ice cream? No. Eating 10 tubs? No. 100 tubs? No. What I did is I linked my reward to my victories and said, Michael, kind sir, except I did not say kind sir, I was very critical of myself. I said, I'm not going to allow you to have chocolate ice cream anymore until you win a race. I think I probably won a race. Now until you win a bunch of races. I may have still won. And I just kept raising the bar until I stopped winning races. Why did I stop winning races? I stole the joy from me. I should have allowed myself, I know shoulda, woulda, couldas. It would have been good if I had allowed myself to have the chocolate ice cream in advance, to give my reward to myself before I've quote unquote earned it, which is such a bogus term. You don't need to earn anything. You are awesome just for being you right here, right now. That's all that matters, period. Done deal. End of story. Celebrate in advance. And you put yourself in that state of play. Dance in advance. You put yourself in that state of celebration. Sing in advance. You put yourself in that state of pure joy. Whatever it is that you desire. Woohoo! Anchor in all the goodness before it even exists. Wouldn't you agree, Southern Comfort? Woo-hoo. All right, well, that's about as much joy. I love you, Southern Comfort, as he can bring to things. But anchor it in advance. And what happens? I'm almost jumping out of my seat here. You get into this ecstatic state, you get into this flow-like state, you get into this happy state, and you put it out to the universe. I am so happy. I can see it. I can feel it. I'm already existing in it. I'm already celebrating it. My vibration is so high. Well, universe goes, patonk, and throws the door open to your success. Because as I've mentioned in our previous talks, you have now vibrated at the exact frequency of the door that you want to open, and you get a vibrational lock, and it can't help. The kingdom of heaven cannot help but be thrown open before you. So, with that said, let's do a brief little meditation here today. And be sure to leave your comments below. I'm very, very curious. Did you enjoy the experience with Ruru on camera? Did you enjoy the experience with Southern Comfort? I want to know your thoughts. And I want to know how much and what you're doing to play. Because the more, life is too serious to take seriously, the more that you can play. And this means actually we can go use our serious minds, write down what I'm curious about, write down what I like to do, write down what I'm good at, see how I can play by putting all of those things together. The more you can play, the more you will find success in every single area of your life. With that said, before we do the meditation, I want to mention automatic writing one more time, because this is where all of my classes come from. This is where everything I learn that I get to share comes from, is each and every day I get to play with my angels. I get to play with my guides. I get to play on the other side of the veil. So this morning it was with Mole, who between you and me, oh my God, Mole touched my heart at about 2.5 inches long on his good days, more than any other animal I have ever had or met or otherwise. And oh my God, am I attached to Ruru? Oh my God, am I attached to the love bug, the 3 kitties, the love bug, the royals, the love bug, Sir Meowsers, and Lumiere. But there was something about this 2.5 little inch vole who loved to play. Oh my God, did he love to play. He would run in my hand, then run in the next hand, and run in the next hand, and run in the next hand, and run on his wheel and go through his little obstacle course. And that boy loved to play. When he passed away, cool thing about automatic writing is you can get in touch with loved ones on the other side. And I think it was a few weeks before he came to me, and Jessica and I were quite traumatized because we had left the vet. He hadn't been eating for a day or so, and he passed away about a half an hour later in Jessica's arms. And there's this sense of guilt. There's this sense of, could we have done something? What did we do wrong? What could we have done differently? Because we had rescued him at, I think it was 5 days of age. He had lost his mommy. He's running around, crawling around, blind in the heat because he hadn't opened his eyes up yet, and a trail where he would have gotten eaten, squashed, or stepped on in the high mountains of Colorado. We brought him back to the car where miraculously we had a syringe that we had been using to feed a rescued troop of mice who we then got to a vet clinic to nurse back to health. And we had a syringe in the car. And so miraculously, we gave him some water after I had hiked with him in my arms for 6 miles over literally avalanche fields. It was a wild hike out of this place, fallen trees, snow, the works. Although it was hot in summertime, but there was still packed snow from a record snowfall season a few years ago in Colorado. Got him back to the car, nursed him back to health. Jessica nursed him to total health and to adulthood, and then he passed away. And we were like beyond shell-shocked, beyond upset. And then 2 weeks later, I started to connect with him through my automatic writing. It's something, there's a whole chapter in the automatic writing experience about getting in touch with your loved ones on the other side. And he came to me and he said, Daddy, it's me, it's Mole. And his full name is Nacho Mole, but I've always called him Mole. And he said, it's me, Mole. And he said, it's all right, Daddy, I'm okay. There's nothing you could do. It was my time. I wanted to come home. I wanted to live a full life as a vole. And he said, Daddy, it's all right. He goes, I've learned how to fly, Daddy. All I need to do to fly is to let go of the ground. To me, I've never heard almost anything more profound than that. What he is saying is that we can all fly by letting go of the thinking mind, by letting go of the intellect, by letting go of the fear, by letting go of the things that hold us down, and then we take flight. And since that day, we've had conversation after conversation after conversation. It's been phenomenal. And then I noticed recently I haven't been plugging into Mole so much as going to my other spirit guides, and not so much spirit animals, but to the angels. Well, and then recently, we have a manifestation mastery circle, which is 4 Wednesday nights a month. I teach from the One of the Masters. So last month, I taught from Neville Goddard on Think and Grow Rich, which was just phenomenal, because Neville came to me before each class, and the two of us would have discussions and come up with a new version, upgraded version of Think and Grow Rich. And through our discussions, we took Think and Grow Rich to a whole new level. And then this month is Neville Goddard, and we're talking about his book Resurrection, which is really about creating the new you, rebirth of you at an even higher level by playing in the emotional state, in the emotional realm, in a state of play. Although the word play, I hadn't heard come up from Neville. This morning I go into my automatic writing. I'm intending to channel Neville for our next class and for my talk today. And instead, Mole says, Hi, Daddy. I'm here. Wanna play? And the two of us had this amazing conversation in automatic writing, which was truly a flow state, playful experience on today's talk. And so I cannot recommend getting the automatic writing experience enough, not just to learn from the other side, not just to reconnect with your loved ones, which that is more than anything, but as a manifestation tool. It puts you in such a state of joy, as such a state of play, of reverence, of awe. That's why it's called awe. It puts you in such a state of that you can't help but attract exactly what you desire. That's why I'm really excited right now looking for our next place to live. I'm not looking from the thinking mind. I'm looking from the anchoring in the goodness. And I take it and I write about it in automatic writing, and I play with it in my mind, and I do a theatrical performance in my mind. All of the things you see, except for maybe pulling out Southern Comfort and having him running along in the new place. Maybe I get to do that as well. I bring out Henry the sea turtle, because right now we're thinking about water. You see where I'm going? I do that in my automatic writing state each and every morning, because it gives me a disciplined, structured environment to play. And what I am really doing, between you and me, is I am being a sorcerer or a magician, which is what you are, an alchemist. What's an alchemist? I am taking thought, putting it into this giant vat, this giant cauldron. I'm mixing thought with joy, with creativity and belief, and out comes exactly what I desire, or something better. So, last comment on awe, where do you get it? Certainly you can get it at automaticwriting.com, where we have tons of bonuses, brain entrainment music, you name it. So that's automaticwriting.com. You can, of course, get it on Amazon as well. And I recommend 3 copies. I've been telling everybody, get 3 copies. Why? Get one for yourself. It'll change your life. Get a second for a loved one. Help change their life as well, and so that they don't steal the book from you. Get a 3rd copy for somebody who's really, really struggling, or seems like wearing a dark coat or a dark cloak. Why? Because you give them awe, and you help get them into a state of awe, into a state of light, into a state of joy, into a state of ecstasy. And their light goes on like it's never gone on before, and it becomes positively infectious. That's my goal. Raise people's vibration, elevate consciousness, shift humanity. And to me, awe is the single greatest tool for doing that. Raise vibration, shift consciousness, elevate humanity. Why? Because when I get you plugged in, when I get you into the state that Dr. Andrew Newberg calls the enlightened mind, and that light goes on, you will infect with your positivity, joy, and goodness every single person around you. You'll have greater kindness. You'll have greater compassion. And you will truly, just by being you, change the world. Again, automaticwriting.com or Amazon. Certainly, actually, knock on the door of your local bookseller. Ask them to get it in as well. All right, let's dive into a meditation, shall we? Let's meditate on play. So what I'd like you to do for today is get good and comfortable in your chair. In fact, this is a play meditation. I think I did this last week too, but what I'd like you to do is get comfortable, slouch, feel like you're a kid in your chair. Whatever would make you feel good. Go cross-legged, go lotus, lay down on your side. Do whatever feels good to you. There, I'm squirming around in my chair, getting into a nice, good position of play. And we are going to play our way to the other side of the veil. That's right, Lumi. That was Lumiere coming on the mic for a second. All right. I know, Lumi. What I'd like you to do is take a nice deep breath. In through the nose, down to the belly, and back out through the nose. In and out. In and out. As you continue to breathe in and out through the nose, I'd like you to close your eyes and imagine yourself at the most fun place you've ever been. Perhaps that's a beach, or a sailboat, or for me, it used to be on an inflatable mattress towed behind a sailboat. Maybe it's Disney World, a movie. It can be any place your mind and heart can come up with. As you continue to breathe in and out, I want you to feel the connection between yourself and everyone else doing this meditation with you. Likely at this very moment, there are hundreds, if not thousands, doing the same meditation. And before we go into this state of pure joy, I want you to send them love. How do we do this? Let's breathe in through the heart. Imagine the air going into your heart and out through the heart. In through the heart and out through the heart. And one more time. In through the heart and out. You're now getting into a state of heart coherence with everyone around you. And as you continue to breathe, I want you to breathe in light from the heavens, in through the heart, and out, sending out love. Breathe in light from the heavens into your heart, and out, send out love. In light, out love. As you keep breathing in and out, I want you to send out love to everyone here doing the meditation together. Send out love to everyone who is struggling right now here on earth. And and send out love to everyone who cannot find joy and happiness wherever they may be. For we are going to now raise your vibration to the heavens and send out even more of that joy in love to all those in need. And so now let's go back to that special place, to that beach, that roller coaster ride, to whatever it may be that brings you such incredibly joy and happiness. Maybe it's Disney World itself. As you breathe in and out, take in the sights around you. You're there again now. You're in your body that you were in at that time. And this experience doesn't just feel real. It is real. What do you see? Who do you see? Look real close up. In fact, grab your watch or your wrist. Take a look at your watch. And now go from your watch to your feet, to a few feet out in front of you. Look a few feet further still. Look out 100 yards, 100 more. And now all the way out as far as you can see. What are you seeing? What are you taking in? And now let's do the same with our hearing. What's the closest thing to you hear? Is it your breath? Your footsteps? Rustling of your clothes? Crunch of your feet on the ground? And now what do you hear a little bit further out? And a little bit further still? And now what do you hear that is the farthest away sound you can possibly make out? And now let's do the same thing for touch. What do you feel at the moment? Is it your feet against the ground? Is it your butt on an inner tube? Or maybe the seat in a kayak? What are your fingers touching? At your back? Or is it simply feeling the wind blowing through your hair? Or the sun against your skin? Or maybe it's even the touch of a partner in your hand. Take in all that you feel. And now, what do you smell? Is it salt in the air? Smell of the water? Smell of spring or fall, or freshly cut flowers, or a lawn? Maybe it's even the smell of cotton candy, if there is such a thing. Breathe in, take in whatever you can smell. Scent is one of the most powerful tools in all of the world for creation. It's the one most deeply rooted in us, in our emotions and our memories. And now what do you taste? Is it ice cream? Is it some sort of a treat? Is it the minty-like taste of dewdrops of eucalyptus hanging in the air? An old tracker's technique is to put the tongue to the top of the roof of the mouth, draw in air and feel it hit the tongue. What sense does that give you? What does it remind you of? And now let's put this all together. It's time to play. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you touch, taste, smell? How vibrant is it? How much can you see the experience? How much can you feel the experience? How much can you live in this experience? Does it have you in a state of pure joy, of pure happiness, of pure ecstasy? Dive in fully to the experience. Get to your own woohoo place. Feel the joy. Feel the imagination going pop, 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 and the creativity. In fact, get a pen and paper handy after this, because the ideas may come flooding in. But as you are basking in this state, I want you to go from playing at Disney, from playing at the beach, from playing on the water, to what do you desire in your life? New job, new partner, new millions, anything in the world. Combine the two of these, this sense of incredible joy with the sense of having whatever it is you desire. Woohoo! Link the two of these. Link Disney World with your first million. Link the beach with the most amazing relationship. Link going for a swim in the ocean with the most incredible business, company, entrepreneurship, coaching business, massage business, whatever it is that you want to create. When you go to this state, I want to say imaginary, but it's anything but imaginary. When you go to this state of magic, of alchemy, of creation, by putting yourself in the most amazing place you have ever been, and then linking it to what you desire, you become completely unstoppable. For is that joy coupled with creativity, coupled with belief, that makes all things real. So let's have you play in this state for another minute. Run, jump, play, swim, smile, breathe, hold, cuddle, whatever it is. And just plant the seed of whatever you desire in your heart while you're doing this. And you will bring it about. Breathe in, take in all this goodness. Breathe out, set that intention. Breathe in, take in all this incredible joy. Breathe out, set that intention even more. Breathe in, take in all this incredible energy and emotion, and breathe out, knowing that whatever you desire is already here, because you can feel it, you can see it, you can smell it, you can touch it, you can taste it, and you can believe it. And so the next step, each and every evening, get yourself back to this state, and then go to the state of what you desire. Put yourself in the new job. Put yourself with a new partner. Put yourself with a new home. Put yourself on the moon if that's what you want. But link this state of pure joy and excitement to whatever it is you want in your life. And you will open the door to just that, for your highest good, the highest good of all, or something better. That's the magic. That's the power you have inside of you, and that makes you completely unstoppable. Or in terms of manifestation, that makes you dangerous, because whatever you desire, you can now create. So feel free to stay in this state as long as you would like. Come join us for our next YouTube live event, which will be this Sunday and every Sunday night. Be sure to pick up your 3 copies of Awe, one for you, one for a family member, and one for somebody who's completely in need. Click here for more incredible shows. Subscribe button down below. Make sure to click that and the bell icon to be notified of upcoming shows, YouTube premieres, live events with me. Love you guys so much. Big thumbs up if you like this. And above and beyond all else, shine bright. Woohoo! Love you guys.